Let's start by creating a new navigation task. Choose the type of the competition you like. Precision flying, ANR corridor, which is air navigation racing, poker run, a special kind of event we explain later, or a landing competition. For this tutorial, we start with a precision flight. On the next page, we see that we need a KML file and that the route inside the KML file is a path called route. We also have the option to add a takeoff and landing gate, and we can also include forbidden areas. Let's create a new route in Google Earth. We start by locating the area of the competition, and we create a new folder under My Locations inside Google Earth. We then click the path icon so that we can draw the route as a path. Start by identifying the starting point for the navigation task and clicking this. Remember that the first leg of the competition should go in the direction away from the airport. This is because the starting point has an invisible infinite starting line, so make sure that the start point can't be crossed en route from the airport. After this, just select a suitable path for the competition, depending on your level of difficulty. If you want to add a secret gate, tap the turning point in front of where you want this, before zooming into this area and making a marker on the path. Make sure that the path does not alter its direction and there is a straight line from the previous turning point to the next through the secret gate. When everything is ready, save the path name as route. If you want a takeoff gate or a landing gate, repeat the process, but remember that they must be located where you are sure they will be crossed by the competitors. This should be named TO for takeoff and LDG for landing. Note that for the landing and takeoff gates, we draw the actual gates instead of the path as we did for the navigation route. If you want to add forbidden areas such as control zones or other areas where the aircraft should not enter, create a polygon. Choose the area you want to add, choose the color and transparency for your own convenience, and save the polygon as prohibited underline followed by the name of the forbidden area without any spaces. You can make several of these if you want. Make sure that all these items are placed inside the folder you created to begin with. A quick tip here is if you create multiple tasks as folders, then you can just drag and drop prohibited areas or takeoff or landing gates into the folder you want to save as a route, and then reuse them for multiple tasks if desired. Make sure everything is checked, right-click on the folder and select Save Place As. You can choose between KMZ or KML, we support both. After saving the file, we return to the Airsports webpage where we will upload them. Here you select the newly created file in the File Form Upload box and press Submit. The next page allows you to edit the properties of the turning points you created when you did the path in Google Earth. You can provide names to the various turning points and select whether they should be regular turning points, starting points or secret gates. Remember that in our example, turning point 5 was a secret gate. I will therefore change this to SG5 for secret gate 5 and change type to secret point. Now the gate will be invisible to the contestants. Note that the example map on the right side is a static map of the path you drew in Google Earth, so this is not updated by any changes made in the form. Once you are happy with your edits, press Submit. Similar to a contest, a navigation task needs a name and a start and finish times. And also similar to competitions, the start and finish times are management tools, and it is possible to fly the navigation task outside of the time interval. You then choose whether the task should be public or not. You can hide the task from the public while you're preparing a contest. In my example, we will be creating a training task, so I will keep it not public to hide it from the general public. Note that both the contest and the navigation task has to be public for the navigation task to be visible. The scorecard contains the basic set of rules for the chosen navigation task, and here we choose the FAI Precision 2020 scorecard. I opt not to put any wind in my example and rather put it on each individual team when I add them. Choose the time required from takeoff to reaching the starting point and the time from the last gate to reach the landing site. It is important that you give enough time for the contestants to get back and forth. Finally, we choose whether the map should be displayed in the background, and yes, we want to show the map on the tracking page. Click Submit. Finally, on this last page, we can choose whether to use standard FAI penalty rules or override certain rules with our own. Here we want to use the standard FAI rules, so we just click Submit. The new precision flying route is ready. Let us see how we can use the existing route we created for a precision flight to create an air navigation race. From the competition details page, choose New Navigation Task and then choose ANR Corridor. Upload the same route file as we used for precision flying and choose whether you want rounded or straight corners. I prefer round corners. You enter the name of the task, the start and finish times as before, select the rules, as well as any wind you want to set up for the navigation task. Minutes to starting point and minutes to landing site is as for the precision flight. And yes, here we also want to show the map in the background. On the next page, where we can override certain parameters, we choose the corridor width, the grace time, which is the amount of seconds we can be outside of the corridor before we get a penalty, and we set the corridor width to 0.5 nautical miles. The rest I leave as is. The remaining parameters describe how many penalty points we will get per second we are outside of the corridor, the maximum penalty per leg, and if this is below 0, there is no maximum penalty. If we set it to, for instance, 200, then this will be the maximum we get per leg outside of the corridor. Grace time for the start and finish points is the number of seconds you can miss the crossing time without accruing any penalty. And finally, you can set how many penalty points you get if you miss the start or finish gate entirely. That's it. Now we have made an air navigation race. Just note that with rounded corners there must be more than 1 nautical mile between the turning points, otherwise you will get a warning. Before you can have anyone compete in a navigation task, you have to add the team to the competition.